The Velebit is a 145-kilometer long mountain range that runs along the northern Adriatic coast of Croatia. The unique natural world of these mountains is entirely protected by various national parks and nature parks, and even some rare old-growth forests can be found here. And last spring, when I found myself looking for a new adventure, I packed my bags and took some trains and buses down to Croatia to experience the Velebit mountains for myself. I ended up hiking there for 7 days and slept in wonderful little mountain huts while the cold winds and storms were raging through the mountains and nature was just waking up from the winter. So I just arrived by bus in a town that is around 20 kilometers from the starting point of the hike that I had planned. I have a lot of walking on asphalt roads to do now, and it is raining, and because I missed the bus it is already pretty late. So yeah, I actually really don't know where I'm gonna end up today. We'll see. After spending the first night underneath the roof of a little shed near the road, I finally started hiking into the vast forests of the Velebit Nature Park. Wow, look at all this bear's garlic around me. It's full of it, and I'm gonna collect a lot to put in my dinner tonight. I cannot carry around much vegetables, for example onions or stuff like that, so it's nice to have some fresh stuff for dinner also, because other than that I just have lentils and couscous. As it is still early spring, the weather is quite cold and rainy, and there are no leaves on the trees yet. Therefore, at this time of year, there are almost no people in the mountains. And on my first day of hiking, I did not even see a single other human soul. Wow, take a look at this beautiful ancient beech forest, flourishing, completely undisturbed. Whoever knows me also knows that I'm really happy right now walking through these fascinating old beech forests. this, my friends, is the payoff. Woo! Found my little mountain hut. Got a big view. Oh man. And it's time for some food. See you later. Alright, so now it's a couple hours later, and I gotta say it's one of the coolest mountain shelters that I've ever been to in my whole life. I started up the oven and the fire is already out, there's no embers anymore, but the hut is so well insulated that it's really warm in here right now. And over here we got a little sink with running water, which cannot be taken for granted because this water is only coming from rainwater, which is being collected somewhere around here. I read that in the summer the water actually can run out. Oh yeah, and here right next to the sink we got the light switch. Yeah, so over here there's enough place for me to sleep. I got the nice little dining table here right next to the window, and yeah, believe it or not, over here is a charging station where I can charge my phone and all my other things. But yeah, that's just absolute luxury here. It's a good place to chill. The next day, the storm kept on raging for most of that day, so I decided to stay another night at the hut. I spent the day collecting and chopping wood, taking some walks outside while trying not to get blown away by the wind, and of course I spent lots of time in the warm hut reading my book and watching the rain. These mountains are famous for their extremely strong winds, which I got to feel on every day of this trip. The wind is so notorious that it even has a name: Pura. After a second night in the mountain hut, I continued hiking towards the next hut. On this day, I mainly wandered through a valley with a mystical ancient forest called Ramino Corrito. at the next hut, and once again, such a beautiful hut. Very modern one. There's the big window. I'm sleeping right here. The view from the hut, yeah, just incredible. So I just had a very interesting conversation with a Croatian guy who was also hiking here alone, and he told me a lot about this region. So one thing he told me was that the beech forests that I was hiking through yesterday have actually never been cut in all of history, which means that those beech forests are real primeval old growth forests, which in simple terms means that these forests would look exactly the same if humans had never existed. And to have such an ecosystem is very rare in Europe, and exceedingly rare in the entire world. How wonderful. A very special region to be experiencing. I'm very happy about that. Wonderful place to be alive. Walking on an abandoned military road. It goes up to an abandoned telecommunications station on the peak of a mountain. So once again I found some bear's garlic over here, But these plants are a bit older than the ones that I found a couple of days ago, so the leaves are not as great anymore. But that's good news, because now it's time for the little buds of the bear's garlic. So yeah, these are the buds. They're gonna turn into flowers later, and they taste even stronger than the leaves. They're quite spicy, so just a few of them will already give my meal tonight a strong garlicky taste. So yeah, it's awesome to find some addition to my dinner here in the middle of the forest. Alright, so I reached the hut for tonight. A little bit more rudimentary than the last two huts. Here it is. But hey, it's a roof over my head with fireplace. That's all I need. Oh, and I definitely need water, which is right over there. There's a natural spring. As you've just seen, this is a crazy weird valley here. The shape of the rocks are, yeah, incredible. So weird and beautiful. Soon after I had arrived at the hut in the evening, I was joined by 3 Croatian hikers. Their names were Santino, Rino and Ante. And because we got along so well, I decided to spend another night at the hut with them and to join Santino and Ante on a day hike the following day. We climbed a peak called Debeli Kuk, all the while battling the overwhelmingly strong Bura wind. So I've now spent 2 nights at the little mountain hut, and the plan is to actually spend another night at the hut. Right now I'm doing a little day hike to some cool rock formation place, I guess. Before I came to Croatia, I had planned a detailed and ambitious hiking route for 8 days. But when I finally arrived in the mountains, I abandoned all of my plans right on the first day, and the adventure ended up being completely different than I had expected. But so what? Even if I didn't hike as far as I had planned, and I didn't see all the places that I had wanted to see, in the end I still left the mountains happily, knowing that I enjoyed each of my days in the beautiful Velebit mountains to the fullest.